Hello guys, you're watching Civil Media TV, and today I'm gonna tell you how did I get to be construction manager at 21 years old.
Remember to like, share, subscribe and leave your comment below.
On 2011, I was hired by a Korean company based in Dominican Republic to work on a project in Haiti, in the north of Haiti, industrial park. We were going to build a power station of, I think the contract was $14.5 million. Really big project. And I was hired to be the assistant construction manager slash project engineer. I was going to do some daily reports, take some photos every day, supervise the labor, and inspect quality and stuff like that. And I was the only project engineer in that project because the project wasn't too big. The amount of money that the bulk of the money went to buying the auxiliary equipment. So civil work was not a really big endeavor. But for me, it was my first project. I was so excited. And there were many challenges in this project for me personally because I was have to live abroad and live with my boss, and that psychologically that's tough. You are in working mode 24/7. Although they say that once you get home, it's not working mode anymore. That you have to relax and don't worry about the work. But that's not the truth. You have to keep your behavior at the level you would in the working hours because you are living with your bosses. You have to keep your the image they have of you, clean. So in my first month, it was like training. They were teaching me how the documentation works in that company, what I will have to do, etc., etc. And the next 3 months we started the next month we started construction. And in the first 3 months I learned so much from my previous boss, and I learned how Koreans work, how and why they are very efficient in so many parts of the construction process, how they handle the slippage in the schedule and the cost, how they handle the people. That's a very important part, how they treat the workers and what they expect from whoever they hire. And I learned a lot because I was totally new. That was my first job right out of the college. I was 21 years old and just getting out of the college. And 3 months after we started the construction process, due to personal stuff that happened with my boss and the company, and in the few recent years, well before I get to the company, well, he decided to resign. He and some other people in the team decided to resign. So as you can imagine, I freaked out because 3 months into the construction process, we are right in the heat of the project and with no construction manager right now. And my boss, the project manager who became my direct boss and was not a civil engineer, so although he knows the construction process overall, he doesn't have the technical knowledge to handle the bulk of the civil engineer, the civil works, the foundations and the road and everything else. So they start trying to find someone fit to fit that position, to fill that position. But they always want Koreans in those key roles in those projects. So it was going to be a little bit hard to find someone that fast. Meanwhile, the president of the company came to the project and asked my boss about my performance in the recent months, and he was happy with my performance so far. But leading is a totally different animal, and everybody had doubts because I was the youngest in the project, and also the person with the least amount of experience in the entire project. Helpers, carpenters, everybody, handymen, everybody had more experience than me. I had 3 months of experience. Everybody there had 10 years at least, 15 years, some people 20 years of experience, some other workers. So everybody had been skeptical about if I could lead that project. And I have to confess, also me. I was, me too, I was, I had my doubts because I don't have the knowledge. I have always had someone that I can go to in case I need some help, but now that person is gone, so what I'm going to do? And I know the Koreans are very, the age is very important for them, that to earn the respect of them, I will have to outperform any expectation they have. And so I start self-educating. Every night I read about construction management, project management, new techniques, Korean ways to do things, reading every night, watching videos on YouTube about how can I do whatever I have to do next day. And it was a very exhausting process. And also because I was asking myself how I'm going to do my job, and also the job of my former boss, because he didn't have to be on site all day like I had to, and so he could quietly do fulfill all his duties in the office while I do what I had to do. But now I have to do that and my job, and it was overwhelming, I have to say. So how I'm going to do that in the 10 hours of work we had during the day? And the answer is I couldn't. You can't just make time up or make time pass slower for you. And so I had to work every night to do my previous boss job, while during the day I had to do my regular job work. And it was tough because I get out of the project 6:30, 7 p.m. from 7 a.m. and I had to have a quick dinner and start preparing schedules, reports, the report that I normally had to do plus the reports that my boss used to do, update the schedule and tweak the schedule according to whatever we have on the project, whatever slippage we have on the schedule or the cost of the project, and calculating labor and adjusting the labor according to the workload. A lot of things apart. Also some meetings that he normally had with the other managers, the mechanical manager, electrical manager, the project manager, the administration manager. A lot of responsibilities plus my job, plus what I was hired for. And so at night I had to do all that plus my self-education to keep up learning and not fall behind of others because of my lack of knowledge. And every day, for example, 6:20 in the morning, they had a meeting, because Koreans at 6, it was at 6 a.m. actually. At 6, work start in the site at 7 a.m. But at 6:30 they had this stretching stuff. It's a very normal thing for some construction companies, but for me it was the first time I saw that. They stretch every day just to prevent injuries for strained muscle and things like that. But with all the workers, so everybody has to do it. So before that, we held a meeting every day with the management team, the project managers, and the other managers that I mentioned with me, just to coordinate the project. Because in multidisciplinary projects, coordination is key. You don't want you don't want a team to delay other teams' work And so to prioritize what's more important, to have a very good coordination among all the teams. And that's something that I got from that project, and that's been vital in the next years I work in that company. So how did I keep that rhythm? I slept for sometimes 3 hours daily. And on Sundays I just spend the morning sleeping, and in the afternoon on leisure on PlayStation 3. I used to love video games. And how did I keep up for months that kind of life? Well, the thing is, I was delivering. I was giving results, and that's such an empowering feeling that it just drove me nuts. I was so happy that I was presenting results that everybody expecting from me and more. So they quit trying to find someone else and just let me finish that project. And in that project, I will finish the civil work 1 month prior the deadline, and also a couple. Well, I will not give the number, disclose the number, but pretty below the budget also. So the company was very happy with me, and although I didn't have the experience that the role required, they let me. The job was mine after that project, because nevertheless I deliver results, and that's what people want, results. They don't really care about your experience or your resume if you can't provide results, if you can lead people. And me being younger, it was pretty hard to earn the respect of the managing team, the workers, and everybody. I try to stay humble, because out of the college you only have theory. It doesn't mean that the theory is worthless, but you have to be humble about other people's practical knowledge. So my lessons from this is, you don't know your potential until the situation requires you to give your 100%. I was extremely tired, but I was extremely happy of that of the performance I managed to how well I performed on that project, on that difficult task it was presented to me. And over the years, that drove me, that made me believe in me a lot more. And I carry all those habits every time when they give me a new project. It was a new endeavor for me, something that I haven't done before, because I had very little experience. It doesn't matter if it was a little building or a new big power station. It was new for me, new challenge. And I kept the same attitude. I never believed that I was top 1% professional, that I know it all. I always try to listen to my handymans, my workers, because they know stuff that I don't know. Also, I've been working in many different countries, so in every country you will find that the process is different. If you try to implement your own process, but because you're learning in the university, you might delay the project, because the workers will have to adapt to your ways. So if you find a way to let them do what they know, but they do it well over your standards, you will have no problems. And so I will make a separate video about key for managing people when earning respect, and all the things that I learned from that project. But the thing is this, once you're given a task, you have to give the 100% of you and more, because opportunities are bold, and you have to hold it from the hairs. So if opportunities are given to you, you have to take advantage of. You have to seize them, because not every day you are given an opportunity like this. And I stood in that company for 7 years, and I have nothing but good things to say about them. And that's it for today's video, guys. I didn't want to make the video too long, and it ended up being, I think it's about 13 minutes already. So thank you, guys. If you have any questions, you can check my resume. in LinkedIn. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel. That will really help me out. And until the next week, guys, thank you. This is Civil Media TV. I'm your host, Anthony Polanco. Bye bye.
This is Civil Media TV. We upload videos every Wednesday, so remember to subscribe, like, and leave your comment below.